Welcome back to another edition, well, a continuation, I should say, of On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9. We have some of our guests here with us. They are getting seated, and I think I'm going to play domino, boy. With these charming ladies we have here. I'm going to play domino. Because about 40, 50 people went to Antigua and Barbuda, you know. I was doing it. But anyway, we're going to get to that in a minute. We're going to start off with football. And the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association, they're already into the semi-final stage. That is the final four. At the end of it, the number 4 seed, well, let me start in the middle. The number 2 seed, the defending champions, SL Horsford's St. Paul's United, they played the number 3 seed, Sol Island Otto Connery. The final four, that kicked off on Sunday last. And it was even Steven, deadlock to the end, 0-0, not a man score. Both teams walking away with a point apiece. Now it was in the feature game. And did I say SL Horsford, St. Paul's United, the defending champions and the President Cup champions? Remember at the start of the season, the first match of the season, the league champions, they play the FA Cup champions. The FA Cup is what we used to call the Knockout Cup. So SL Horsford, St. Paul's, they were the defending champions. They played Rams Village Superstars the opening game. Rams Village Superstars defeated them 2-0 to win. Well, forgive me. SL Horsford defeated Rams Village Stars 2-0 to become the President Cup champions. And now when we look at it, the number 1 seed, the FA Cup champions, that is Rams Village Superstars, they played the number 4 seed, Azul Keon Rockets, and Giovanni Amory, he was the difference in the two teams. He put a ball in the Old Onion bag in the 64th minute. So therefore, Rams Village Superstars, they took an early lead in the semi-finals. So they are now leading. SL Horsford, St. Paul's, and Sol Island Otto Connery, they are tied. Both of them have a point apiece. And that's Azul Keon Rockets. They are at the bottom of the table. And come Wednesday, 27th August, that is tomorrow, God's Spear, we're going to be having, and the games are being played at the Technical Center up at St. Peter's. SL Horsford, St. Paul's United, the number 2 seed, playing Azul Keon Rockets, the number 4 seed. And boy, Keon got to win the game. If Keon lose the game, they out. Simple as that. They gone home. They are out of it. They have to win that game tomorrow to stay in. Once St. Paul's win, you could basically say St. Paul's might be in, you know. It depends on what happens in the other game with Connery, because St. Paul's would go to 4 points if they win. Normally the team that wins the first 2 matches get to 6 points. Normally that team is in. And sometimes you have all different type of formations happening. But we're going to have to see right now, Rams Village Superstars, they only need basically another 3 points and they are in. So Wednesday, 27th, 6 p.m. up at the Technical Center in St. Peter's, SL Horsford United, the defending champions, league champions, and the President Cup champions, they will tackle the number 4 seed, that is Azul Keon Rockets, at 6 p.m. And then at 8 p.m., Rams Village Superstars, the number 1 seed, as well as the FA Cup champions, they will be taking on Sol Island Otto Connery at 8 p.m., Connery being the number 3 seed. The thing about this, all 4 teams have won the national championships already. So these expected to be very, very good matches. The officials for St. Paul's versus Keon, Trevester Richards, the referee Junico Matthew, assistant referee number 1, Michaela Oden, assistant referee number 2. Orlando Mitchum, he is the 4th official. And Delroy Jeffers, he is the referee assessor for the second game, which is the feature game. Rams Village Superstars versus Sol Island Otto Connery. Tristle Basso is the man carrying the whistle. Tyra Wilkinson and Jevian Archibald, they are running the lines. Kareem Benjamin, the 4th official, and they will be assessed by Grammy Brown. So a lot of action, and the elderly, and the age goes up to 65. So you have to be considered an elderly, you have to be 65 or more, and there's a special price for you. There's a reduction in price for the players as well. The elderly at 65. Somehow I thought the age for elderly was 62, which is the Social Security age, and I think that, if I'm not mistaken, that is the United Nations age for the elderly. I mean, of course, if you want to drop it to 60, I think some businesses do, that may very well be the case. But to consider somebody 62, 63, 64, not an elderly, I'm not too certain about that. I think the elderly should be 62. But the SKNFA, they offer concessions on the tickets for the elderly, and however, you have to be 65 or above. So somebody like me, I won't qualify to be an elderly. Lolo, I don't believe Lolo would qualify to be an elderly, because I think Lolo is 63 or 64 or something like that. So Lolo, your goose cook, girl. You wouldn't be able to be considered the elderly to get that extra discount. But go on out and look at some football, some tremendous football. And while we are waiting, we have some of our guests here. We are waiting for the others to arrive. Let us go to cricket on the local front. We're going over to the James Harris T20 Cricket League. Good night to you, Montezuma. Hi, I forgot my bad manners. I forgot to big up a couple people tuning into the program. Montezuma, James Palmer, he is one. He's all the way over on the eastern side of the island. That is at Mansions. Good night to you. Good night, my boy, what you saying? And Brown Hill in Nevis. I understand the entire of Brown Hill. That's one of the strong sporting communities in Nevis. I understand they are always locked into the On The Ball program. Good evening to you guys. Hey, what you guys saying? Good evening to the guys and the ladies up there. Whether you're playing dominoes, whether you're playing drafts, whether you're playing Ludo, hopscotch, whatever you're playing. Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to WINN FM 98.9. And remember, we are on Facebook as well as YouTube. So if you Google WINN FM Facebook, you will get us. And I'll tell you, it is facebook.com/winnfm.com and youtube.com. That is where you will find us. Of course, you can WhatsApp me 668-2055. Give me a call if you want to be in the program. 466-0989. Those are the numbers to call locally. Or 662-0989. Or if you're calling from in England, just give me a second. I'll give you the number there for the English. You will call the English, you will call the UK, you will call 033-344-0065. If you're in the United Kingdom, you call 033-344-0065. If you're in the US of A, and that's 718-285-6984. The US, you call 718-285-6984. And in Canada, you call 305-921-4619. In Canadians, you call 305-921-4619. And speaking about the USA, guys, I was to be going to New York on Thursday coming. I'm smiling, but I'm really feeling bad about it. The Sandy Point Benevolent Society. It's a philanthropic group in the U.S. based in New York region. And they make about 5 awards every year to different persons. 1 from Sandy Point, 2 who attended the Sandy Point High School Charles E. Mills Secondary School, 3 who assist them with their programs. They have some awards every year. The award is going to be Saturday coming the 30th. And where is it going to be again? Just give me a second and I'll tell you where it's going to be. It's happening in New York. And they are honoring 5 persons. And I'm privileged to be one of those persons to be honored for my work in sports as well as culture. And I'm missing the... Oh, yes, here it is. Sandy Point Benevolent Society Annual Awards Gala under the distinguished patronage of Pastor Judith and Elder Moulton Esdale. The honorees are Mr. Leroy Powell, I think that is the waterman out of Newtown, Mrs. Grace May Richardson Carty, Dr. Almisha Richardson Campbell, Miss Abina Amory, I think she is out of Nevis, that's the late Premier Van Samary's daughter, may he rest in peace, Mr. Troy Bif Mills. Imagine the possibilities when we give back so others can move forward. And that is the theme of the program. And it's featuring guest speaker, His Excellency Dr. Matrice Williams, entertainment by the Breakaway Brass Band. Boy, I would like to be there, boy, to be hearing that. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not there, regrettably. And my visa expired the 29th of July this year. And I know it would have expired since before. I went Qatar, like when I went Qatar in June. And but I decided, no problem, when I get back, I will renew it. Because the US had this thing, once your visa expires within a year, you could just send in your documents. You didn't have to go in person. So I went about getting my relative documents, passport, the new passport, the old passport with the visa, etc. And I wake up this morning, earlier this month, I'm deciding now to go to DHL to ship it off, or FedEx or whichever one it was, to ship it off. Only for my travel agent to call me laughing. So, well, she's married, so I work out. Well, she and her husband had a joke, so she just coming on the back end of the joke with me. And she talking to me, and she laughing. She said, boy, Biff, how you doing? Where you based? I tell a girl, I just put it on my clothes to rush into Bastia to deal with this thing. She started to laugh again. She said, boy, Biff, don't waste the money. Save your time. I asked, what are you talking about? And she advised me a couple of days ago, the U.S. made the resolution that everyone applying for visa would have to come in person. Applying to renew their visa will now have to come in person, which is how it was before. I think 2 years ago or so they changed that. And she said, well, I went online to try and book an appointment for you in August. And she said, August full out. August, no appointment there. And of course, we had a good laugh about it, eh? And I felt bad, yes, but yeah, she tried to cheer me up. So we missed out on that. So be that as it may, I won't be there in person, but my uncle, Neville Manny Weeks, he's living in New York. He has consented to accept it on my behalf. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Uncle Neville. And hey, good night to you too. He normally listens to the program as well and give his suggestion. And someone I'm really missing from the program is Eustace Hendrickson, the late Eustace Hendrickson. May his soul rest in peace. He always would have called in, sent in comments, and every time I speak to him, when the program finishes, I'm on my way on the bus from walking down to go to the ferry terminal from the Sands. We are talking, get on the bus, we're talking, we're waiting for the bus to go, we're talking. I drive, reach home, open the door, we're still talking. And when I reach in the house, I say, "Boy, Eustace, I reach home, thanks a lot. Got to get something to eat now before I grab a snooze," and things like that. So I'm really going to miss him for the program, for him being here and offering suggestions. Nonetheless, guys, we're back, and just let me take a short break to see if the St. Kitts and the Nevis National Domino Association, if they are ready to roll. Just give me a second and or two or maybe 7, and I'll be back. Want to know what's happening in sport? Tune into On the Ball, a weekly tour show which is on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Bif Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and, of course, your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On the Ball with Troy Bif Mills on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball. We are back, and our guests, they are here. I should say some of the members, 3 of them are here. They're waiting for another 3, and they prefer to actually wait until they have the full entourage to start. So what we are going to do, we are going to continue. We have sports can't done here. Sports cannot done. We were talking about the Montezuma Front Street. They took care of business against Prison. Oh boy, Prison. It's really tough. Fun, just close. Could you imagine close, but yet so close? Front Street, they were 76 or 7 from 20 overs. And Charles Footy Fredericks, batting at number 5, he was the top scorer, 20 from 26 balls, 1, 4, 2 sixes. And Kennedy Hazel opening the batting. He was 10 not out from 48 balls. And the bowling for Prison had B. Edwards, the first change, getting a 3 for 4 overs, 1 maiden, 22 runs, 3 wickets. C. Hanley, the third change, he was 2 for 12 from 3 overs. And L. Welsh opening the bowling, 1 for 6 from 2 overs. And W. Phillip, second change, 1 for 20 from 4 overs. There were a massive 18 extras, 14 wides, 3 no balls, 1 bye. And when Prison batted, this got hurt. There was 75 for 5 from 18 overs. J. Allen opening the bowling, he was 12 not out from 19 balls. B. Edwards, he was 10 for 9. He had 2 fours. W. Phillip, 10 from 13 balls with 2 fours. And in terms of the bowling for Front Street, and again, this is the James Harris T20 T20 talking about T20 football league, T20 cricket league. It's a softball league. And Aline Smith, the second changed. One of the two top joint wicket takers, 2 overs, 8 runs, 2 wickets. Alfonso Hendrickson, he was 3 overs, 17 runs, 2 wickets. Opener, Kendi Hazel, 1 for 19 from 4 overs. This was strange, why they didn't have any extras. So, Front Street winning that match. Pardon me. Prison winning that match. Front Street 76 for 7 from their 20 overs. And the Prison 77 for 5 from 18 overs. So congratulations to the Prison team. And I really like the idea with that Prison team. Yes, they would have made whatever poor choices, bad choices in life, and they are now doing time as a result, but they're still human beings and they shouldn't be cut off from society, because at some point, most of them will be coming out to rejoin society. So we have to start helping them and shaping them and welcoming them. They have a band, a musical band, and when the Department of Culture holds in the spirit of Christmas, they normally play the last night, which is the Thursday night, and it's a program in the Christmas. And that's the night when most people show up. The biggest crowd, by a wide margin, is on the night when the Prisoners play. And there are 2 sets of persons who actually show up. 3 actually. 1 person who just come to the program every night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 2, some people come just to hear the prison band. And 3, the mothers. And I'm not certain how I should feel about this yet. And this, I've been in this position for some years. The mothers, they are bringing their children to see their fathers. Is it a good thing? Is it not a good thing? And I really don't know how I feel. I understand. I think it is important, but anyway. So congratulations to the Prisoners for winning that game. Front Street Limers, the Alim Smith, Lodge and the Back Street. There was to be a game between Lodge and the Back Street. Lodge did not show up. I guess they got lost. They couldn't find the ground. I'm not certain where they wanted to go. So they were a no-show. And the games are continuing on Sundays over at the Mansion playing field. There are 2 games. One starts at 4 p.m. The other one starts a little later in the afternoon. So go on out and support Montezuma and his crew over in Mansion and support the James Harris Cricket League that is happening over there in Mansion. And we are continuing where we are going now. Of course, we're going to the number 1 excitement happening right now in the Caribbean. Well, I should say further afield. The games are played in the Caribbean. However, the attention is all over. And I'm getting a WhatsApp. There's a gentleman, Chris. Thank you, Chris, for listening. He's in tune. I appreciate that, Chris. And check in Frazzy Elliott. Good night, Biff. Good night to you also, Frazzy. Thank you for tuning in. And again, we are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. And you can send your messages. Or you could even WhatsApp me. And we appreciate you listening and tuning in. And you can call. You can call in and actually give your suggestion on any topic we are talking. You could call, give who you believe going to win the football championship. And basketball. Let us touch basketball before we go to the cricket. the St. Kitts and Nevis Amateur Basketball Association's Canaba, they are actually having the finals. They are at the final stage. The finals are being played between Farm Care Birdrock. They were leading for most of the season, and then they got licked out by St. Paul's Tough Nuts. And they are playing the Keon Lions. The Lions, they were promoted from the A Division last season. So they've come straight from the first division into the playoffs, and who knows, they may go with it. The SL Horsford's St. Paul's Tough Nuts, they didn't make it into the finals. They got into the semifinals, which is the final four. And hold on, we have a call here. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller. Welcome, you're live. I'm not hearing you. I don't know if you're hearing me, caller. Hello? Good evening, caller. We are not hearing you. Could you please call again? 4660989. Thank you very much for calling, but we're not hearing you. I don't know if you're hearing me, but we're not hearing you, caller. Good evening. Okay, please try again. Thank you for trying. Please try again. And that was a caller coming in. And yes, Keon and the Farm Care Birdrock, they are going to be battling it out in the finals. And actually, there's a game tonight at the Dorset Park, if I'm not mistaken. And who knows, we might be able to get a score of some sort. So we've touched the basketball, we've touched the football, we're going to CPL. Boy, a lot of things happening in the CPL. So far, we have had 12 matches, and the defending champions, the St. Lucia Kings, boy, they're having a tough time. They're really having a tough time. They have had two matches that were rained out. One against the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons that was played in Antigua, and the other one was played at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground against the Barbados Royals. And let us just give a reminder of how the games have gone so far. The opening match right here at Warner Park on Thursday, August 14, the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots defeated Antigua and Barbuda Falcons by 6 wickets. St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, they were 125 for 4 from 13.1 overs. Antigua and Barbuda Falcons 102 all out. Guyana Amazon Warriors, they defeated the Patriots by 5 wickets. The Patriots 153 for 8. Guyana Amazon Warriors 154 for 5. And those two games were played right here at Warner Park. The third game, Antigua and Barbuda Falcons, they were 152 for 4. And this game was played at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. Barbados Royals, they only got as far, well, forgive me, they batted first, 151 they were. And Falcons 142 for 4. So Vivian Richards Stadium. Back here to Warner Park, the Patriots, they put up a valiant attempt against the Trinbago Knight Riders. They didn't get there. Trinbago Knight Riders 231 for 5. St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots 217 for 7. Trinbago won by 12 runs. And back to Antigua, so Vivian Richards, Antigua and Barbuda, and this was August 17th, Antigua and Barbuda versus the Falcons. That was rained out on the 19th. That was Tuesday, back to Warner Park. The defending champions, St. Lucia Kings, they were 200 for 8. And the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, gosh, that was a real exciting match. They fell short, but close, very close, but close ain't good enough. Close ain't giving a cigar. They were 197 for 6. That is the Patriots. So the St. Lucia King won by 3 runs. The Falcons, they went down to Trinbago Knight Riders. No, it's the other way around. The Falcons 167 for 6. Trinbago Knight Riders 159 for 6 from their 20 overs. The Falcons winning by 8 runs. The Patriots 174 for 8. Barbados only got to 162 all out. The Patriots therefore won by 12 runs. The Antigua and Barbuda Falcons, the Guyana Amazon Warriors, they were 211 for 3. The Falcons only got to 128 all out from 15.2. Guyana Amazon Warriors won by 83 runs. And the St. Lucia Kings, they went down to Trinbago Knight Riders. The Knight Riders 183 for 7. St. Lucia Kings 165 for 6. Trinbago Knight Riders winning by 18 runs. That's match number 10. Match number 11. The Antigua and the Barbuda Falcons, they got revenge on the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. The Antigua St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, they were 133 for 9. Antigua and Barbuda Falcons 137 for 3. The Falcons won by 7 wickets. And on the 24th, that was Sunday, in the 9th match, St. Lucia Kings versus Barbados Royals, that was rained out. The upcoming matches, we have, just give me 1 second here. We go here to the Tuesday the 26th. Guyana, yesterday, Monday, that was a rest day. And tonight, Tuesday 26th August, the Guyana Amazon Warriors, they are playing the St. Lucia Kings. That's match number 13 at the Darren Sammy National Cricket Stadium. The Guyana Amazon Warriors, they won the toss and they decided they are going to bat first. And at this stage, I'm not so sure that's a good decision because they are 91 for 5. The Guyana Amazon Warriors 91 for 5 from 13.3 overs. Ben McDermott, he was 30 from 18 balls, 3 fours, 2 sixes. Shea Hope, the wicketkeeper, he has been in relatively some good form, batting at number 3, 23 from 27 balls, 2 fours. And Iftikhar Ahmed, he's currently batting 22 from 20 balls, 1 4, 2 sixes. Kevlin Anderson, he made 5. Moeen Ali made a duck. Shemran Hetmyer, he made 3. Romario Shepherd is with Ahmed. He has a run a ball 6. He faced 6 balls and he struck 1 6 there. 2 extras. Kian Gaston, 2 overs, 14 runs, 2 wickets. Opener Kerry Pierre, 4 overs, 30 runs, 1 wicket. Gaston is the first change. And the third change, O'Shane Thomas, 2 overs, 18 runs, 1 wicket. So we're going to stay in tune with that game. And in terms of the upcoming games, if we look at the scorecard after this game tonight, the 27th, which is Wednesday 27th, at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, Trinbago Knight Riders will be coming up against Antigua and Barbuda Falcons. So the St. Kitts and Nevis, they've played their 5 matches here at Warner Park, and also the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons. They've played their 5 matches in Antigua. So the matches are now going to Trinidad and St. Lucia. And then from there they move to Barbados and Guyana. On the 28th, that is Thursday, St. Lucia Kings. They're coming up against St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. On the 29th, Friday, Trinbago Knight Riders, Barbados Royals, Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Saturday, the 30th, that will be Trinbago Knight Riders, Guyana Amazon Warriors. Sunday, St. Lucia Kings, the defending champions, versus the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons. That's a day match at 11 a.m. And then on September the 1st, Monday, Labor Day in New York. I should have been up there. I was planning to spend about maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, up there visiting Labor Day after that award, boy. But it didn't work out. So Monday, September the 1st, Trinbago Knight Riders versus St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots at the Brian Lara Cricket Stadium. And while we're at it, we're still getting there with the Pink Boss and his crew. Let us look at the points tables for the CPL. The Barbados Royals, they have played, hold a second there, how much you have played Barbados Royals? The Barbados Royals, they've played 3, they've lost 2, and they have 1 no result, so they have 1 point. They are in position number 6. I'm not saying at the bottom of the table, position number 6. The defending champion St. Lucia Kings, boy, they've had a torrid time. The only team with 2 rain-out matches. They've played 4 matches. They've won 1, lost 1, and they had 2 rain-out matches. They are on 4 points, one of 4 teams on 4 points, and they are the bottom of the table with the bottom of the 4 points. They have a net run rate of 0.375. St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, they had second at 1 point. They're now down in 4th. They've played 6. They've won 2. They've lost 4. So they have 4 points. Their net run rate is plus 0.115. Trinbago Knight Riders, they have played 2, lost 1. They have played 3, 1, 2, lost 1. They are also on 4 points. Their net run rate is positive 0.367. And Guyana Amazon Warriors, they have a perfect record. They've played 2, and they've won both of them. So they are also on 4 points in second place with a gigantic, huge, humongous net run rate of plus 2.752. Positive 7.52 if you want to call it that. And the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons, they are out front. They've played 6. They've won 3. They've lost 2. They've had 1 no decision. That's against the St. Lucia Kings. And they have 7 points. Interesting, they have 7 points, but their net run rate is minus 1.103. Very interesting. So that is where we're at. St. Lucia Kings, they are the defending champions. It's early days yet. We're only about a third, give or take 1 or 2, into the season. So we don't know where that is go. And just by way of a reminder, the Republic Bank CPL, that started way back in 2013. Jamaica Tallawahs, they were the first winners. And let us work our way, come forward. Jamaica won it 2013. And in 2014, it was Barbados. 2015, Trinidad and Tobago Knight Riders. 2016, Jamaica won it again. 2017, Trinbago Knight Riders. They won it back-to-back in 2018, the only team to do so far. 2019 was the Royals. 2020, Trinbago Knight Riders, they won it. And in 2021, St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots won it. 2022, Jamaica Talawas won it for their third time. 2023, Guyana Amazon Warriors won it. 2024, St. Lucia Kings won it. And it took a very, very long time for the Guyana Amazon Warriors to win it. What was happening with them, I am not certain at all. Then, in terms of who made it into the finals, well, let me start another way. Trinbago Knight Riders, they've won it 4 times. Jamaica Talawas, they've won it 3 times. Barbados Royals 2. Guyana Amazon Warriors, St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, St. Lucia Kings, they've won it once. And in terms of going to the finals, Guyana Warriors, Amazon Warriors, they've had a torrid time. They went to the finals 7 times. They won it in 2023. However, they were runners-up in the finals 2013, runners-up 6 times. 2013, 2014, 2016, 2018, 2019, 2024. They runners-up back-to-back twice. The St. Lucia Kings, they've made it to the finals 3 times, winning it once in 2024. In 2020 and 2021, the COVID years, they were runners-up. Then we have the Trinbago Knight Riders. They've made it to the finals 5 times. They've won it 2015, 2017, 2018, 2020, and they've been runners-up once. The Jamaica Talawas, and they're not in the competition this year. Every year they've made it to the finals. They won 2013, 2016, and 2022. The only team that has not lost a final as yet. If they're going to come back again, I'm not certain. I'm hearing some talk that they may very well be coming back very shortly. I don't know how true that is. And that is the story of the CPL and the championships, how that has gone so far. And there has been some talk going around about the Patriots possibly maybe moving to Grenada. However, the owner of the Patriots, he was on another station here in the Federation on Friday last, and he addressed that. He said there's no imminent plan to move the Patriots from St. Kitts to Grenada. If I'm not mistaken from what I understood, he said, well, for next season at least, they will be playing here. I'm not certain what will happen thereafter. But he said he's in discussion with the government of St. Kitts and Nevis via the Department of Sports as well as the Ministry of Tourism for their greater involvement. And one of the things that he said, they received a document from the Department of Sports asking for an increase of $50,000 easy, I think it was, which he said they had a problem, so they will be needing to discuss that with the Department of Sports, and that was for the usage of the grounds for the games. So things are looking steady, bright and steady for the Patriots staying here in St. Kitts, because obviously, if they were to move the Patriots from St. Kitts, it would mean that we won't be seeing any CPL games live here in St. Kitts. Of course, unless they come up with another Patriots team, who I might decide, okay, I'm going to get together and get some sponsors and franchise, but I don't have the pockets to own the team. So, but I'm hoping that that will never ever be the case. I'm hoping that the Patriots will always stay in St. Kitts. I'm also hoping that more Kittitians reach to the level to join the the Patriots, excuse me. Currently, the two brothers, Mikael Louis and Jeremiah Louis, they're part of the Patriots, and the owner did say that Jerry is injured. Kyle has played 2 matches. He didn't do too well. I think he made 7-2 of the 5 matches that were played here. And I do hope when he gets another chance, he'll actually put crazy glue in his hand and stick on to that, that opportunity, that chance. That is something I don't believe we do well here, especially from the smaller islands. When we get that opportunity, it is often said we have to do, it used to be twice as much to get half as much. But now we have to do 3 times as much, in my view, to get a third as much. But when we get those opportunities, we need to hold on. We need to grab them. We need to perform. Look at Josiah Claxton. This lady just keep climbing and climbing from West Indies on the 19 into the senior team. And she keeps on. She's hungry. She's thirsty. And once she applies herself, remain respectful, dedicated, disciplined, not just towards people, but in practice, in training, and of course she delivers the goods. She'll be around for a very long time. I have said, when she made the West Indies on the 19 team 2 years ago, and she made the senior team last year, I think it was, I did say that she's going on to captain the West Indies female team in due course, and I'm sticking with that word. That I also said it about Mikael Louis as well, and he, I believe, will go on to make it. What we're going to do now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take another break, and the Pink Boss and his team, the St. Kitts and Nevis Domino Association, it looks as if they are almost getting ready. So we're going to go, and when we come back, it's going to be horses off with the tune into On the Ball, a weekly tour show which is on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Bif Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and, of course, your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On the Ball with Troy Bif Mills on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And we are going live and direct to Studio 2. We now have in the studios with us some members of the St. Kitts and Nevis National Domino Association. I think I want to become a member of the association, boy, with all these lovely ladies they got in the association. And suppose you see them over there smiling, boy, from ear to ear. One thing I could tell you, he ain't look like the shy at all, boy. My production officer here, Raspy, he playing smart, you know, he doing a quarter walk and 3/4 looking at the ladies. Anyway, we're live and we're going. And remember, you're listening to On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9. We're live on radio. We are also streamed via Facebook and YouTube. The numbers to call 466-0989. That is the local number. And you can also call 662-0989. And of course, if you are in the US, Canada, and the UK, we don't leave out you guys, you know. We think about you. We have you as part of the program. Yes, you're in the diaspora, but you too can call us. If you're in the UK, you can call 033-344-0065. Or if you're in the USA, 718-285-6984. Canada, you can call 305-921-4619. And that will bring you live and direct and get you onto On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9. Now, let's go to the live and direct in the studio. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to WINN FM 98.9.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. And those smiles over there, you gentlemen got to be feeling super.
Yeah, man. It's a good feeling to be here, man. You know what I mean? We're overwhelmed to join you guys here at WINN FM.
Yes, it is a nice proud moment right now.
Now you're representing the St. Kitts and Nevis Domino Association, and from what I saw with you guys in Antigua, it seems like you took the whole of St. Kitts to Antigua except me. Let us start with you. Here, you introduce yourselves, tell us who you are and what position you hold in the association.
Good night to everyone that is listening to WINN FM. You know, we're happy to be here on behalf of the St. Kitts National Domino Association, St. Kitts Nevis National Domino Association. My name is Leighton, aka Pink Boss. I'm the president of the National Domino Association. I went to the Royal Tournament in the capacity as the manager of the St. Kitts National Domino team. Arlington.
Good night, everyone. My name is Arlington Berridge, also known as Leggy. It was a nice, very experience and the first time experience for me playing in such high level of domino. We met a lot of interesting people from different countries, and we went and we came back very proud and actually as champions. As you can see, some of my good teammates and my good manager here by my side, that we did very, very well.
Thank you, Leggy.
Good night. I am Loretta, better known as Lolo. I am also the captain for the National Women Domino team.
Thank you, Lolo.
Hello, good night. My name is Octavia, aka Taki. I am the vice captain for the female team and the interim captain for the male team as well.
There's a song, Woman Are Go Run the Country. They can't run the Domino Association just now too. Now, who are the other executive members of your association Pink Boss?
We have currently Model Cap, which is a well-known public figure. He's the PRO, of course, and we have a gentleman who works currently works at Social Security, Raquel Herbert, Mr. Raquel Herbert, and Vernon Elliott, which is also the second vice president currently. We have Loretta, which is a floor member, which is Lolo, that just introduced herself a few minutes ago. And we have Rikaya Zooks as the assistant secretary treasurer. We have Mr. Paulinus King, aka Pickin, as the treasurer. That's the money guy, of course. And we have Mr. Who's the next person? Ricky Herbert, as I mentioned before, as a floor member. So we have two floor members. We have the secretary, which is Khadisha Hajj. Miss Khadisha Hajj, that's the secretary. Currently, we have a vacant position that we're going to be having an election in January, but the main focus at this time was to go to Antigua at the World Tournament and represent St. Kitts and Nevis. So, of course, we are actually making preparation now to move forward into, the executive business again, because we would have done our job in Antigua. That was, of course, giving proper representation to St. Kitts and Nevis and win the tournament.
When was the St. Kitts and Nevis Domino Association formed? I know way back when a few guys used to be playing domino and represented the country in competitions. I think they went to Guyana at one point and a few others. I remember when Domino Ox Kings out to Sandy Point, a few members, Harris Boone, Nadi, and those guys were part of it. So when did you formalize as the St. Kitts and the Nevis Domino Association? What year?
Okay.
Remember?
Yes, of course we were an interim body. We were an interim body until the 29th of July 2024 when we registered with the Financial Service Regulatory Commission. We got the title from the government as the St. Kitts Nevis National Domino Association that governs domino and St. Kitts and Nevis. We also have a calendar which we have to provide to the government annually in terms of events. So, for example, persons that having tournament or like to be on our calendar has to submit an application to us, which goes through a process. After it's been granted, then of course we publish a calendar with the annual events for the year. So there's currently one out for 2025, so we should be having one issue for January for 2026.
So you mentioned calendar. I like that. What are the events you have coming up for the balance of 2025?
Well, now it's the number 7 league. We're actually moving into the number 7 league, which is going to start, I think,
Sunday.
on this Sunday coming.
31st.
The 31st. So that's actually the next event on the calendar. And, of course, the St. Nevis Domino Association generally take us into the new year with a tournament for the last of the remaining of the year, actually.
There was a competition happening a few weeks ago. I know one game was being played, or games were being played here at Ted's Bar, I think it is. Was that part of your organization, or was that a different?
No, because those that are on our calendar would have been the Montreal farm, the Montreal Domino League, actually.
That's down in Old Road.
Down in Old Road, which is, of course, the Honorable Minister Samuel Duggins, which has been very supportive to us. He would have been giving us assistance in whatever way possible, So once again, I want to say big up to the Minister for his support, his generous support that he has been given to us. And would have had the Carib Bury, which is, also an intense tournament, which is, it was one of the best here. They had some extra activity there. They're also one of our sponsors who would have made it possible to go to Antigua, the World Tournament. So once again, I want to say a big thank you to Carib Bury for their support given to us. And we would have had a slot for the National Association, but because of preparation for the World Tournament, we didn't go through with that tournament because, of course, we had to put in some work to be prepared for the World Tournament. So that was actually placed on hold.
Are any members of your association executive members of the World Domino Association committee?
No, not currently. I was asked to join them, but because it's very demanding here in St. Kitts, and as you know, St. Kitts Domino Association at this point is my number one priority, and I'm certain for each and every one of us that are sitting here. So, of course, we had dialogue in that regards. Where they wanted me was to be the head of marketing, but I actually didn't proceed with having further conversation in that regards, where joining the Royal Council is concerned. But they're going to be having a committee, which is going to be rules committee, etc., which I'm going to actually be giving my support in that regards to try to improve the tournament and also, the governing rules for the tournament.
We're going to come to you, Leggy, and the two young ladies over there. We're going to get to you, but we're getting rid of the politics of the association, getting that out of the way, so to speak. Oh, I am from SP, where the best be.
Yes.
That is Sandy Point. If I want, and this is just an example, if I want to have a competition in Sandy Point and have it be part of your calendar, how can I go about doing that?
Well, you could write to the association. We are currently trying to have our website fully functioning. Also, we have an email address, which you could send us email. Let me tell you what the email address is for the association. So persons that would like to send their application, they could send it to us because we recently update the email address. Hold on a second there.
You're listening to On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9.
Yes. So,
and we have with us live and lively and direct in the studio the St. Kitts and Nevis Domino Association. And if you want to call in to congratulate them, they participated in the World Domino competition held in Antigua last week. I think it was started week before. So if you do want to call them, call in and congratulate them, you can do so. 4660989, 6620989, 7620989. Or if you're in the UK, you can call 033-344-0065. That is 033-344-0065. In the USA, you'll call 718-285-6984. That is 718-285-6984. And in Canada, you call 305-921-4619, 305-921-4619. And again, we are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. And just in case you're shy and you don't want to go live, you can WhatsApp me, 668-2055, and I will indeed convey the message. Delicanes listening, we say good night, thank you for joining in. Tammy Williams, yes, Allington, that's the message coming from Tammy Williams. And congrats SKN team from Tammy Williams as well. And you can send your messages as we have done. We will be reading them. There's actually a call. Let us go to the line and say good night. Welcome to On the Ball here, WINN FM 98.9.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Good afternoon. Good night, sorry.
Good night. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I want to say big up to the St. Kitts National Domino Association and job well done, guys.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
And where are you calling from, sir?
Take it.
Oh, wonderful. Do you play domino?
Yes.
Okay, then. So thanks a lot. We appreciate you calling and we appreciate you listening to the program as well. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
A good night.
That voice sounds very, very familiar.
Yeah, yes, well, bigging up you guys. You were looking for the
Yes.
email ping pong.
Yes, so it's skn dominoes with a Z at gmail.com. So if you'd like to send your application for a tournament to appear on our calendar for 2026, you could email us at skndominoes with a Z at gmail.com. And,
Could you spell out the dominoes first, please?
skndominoz at gmail.com.
Okay, then I'll try and see if I get some persons from Sandy Point to play domino. I try a thing really. I'd put a 2 by a 3 now and then.
So you call the
And
game.
see what we could do. Who are the current national champion?
Us.
Well, you're
The
looking
national
at
team?
No, when I say that from the national, when last has there been a national domino competition?
National.
Or you haven't reached to that stage as yet?
no, we have our national league. As I say, it was just a peer competition that we had, and of course, Mr. Krimai Agard and Selmot Rawlins would have been the winner for that competition. That was the peer competition that the National Association had there.
Okay, how many persons you traveled to Antigua with and how were they selected?
We had a delegation of 30 persons. We started at about 45 were selected for trials. Of course, we'd have had criterias. We'd have had areas in which we'd have, make assessment for persons. So, of course, behavior would be one of those, which comes under discipline. Attendance, the skill set, which is what is required to perform at the Royal Tournament. So definitely you'd have had to meet those requirements. Also have the skill set that is required to be selected. So we came down to 30 persons. So we took a delegation of 30 to represent the federation at the Royal Tournament.
We have another call. Let's go live and say good evening, call. Good evening, caller. You're live on the ball here at WINN FM 98.9.
Good evening. To answer your question that you just asked, Fire Kings is the number 1 team in St. Kitts.
Yeah,
Fire
yeah.
Kings.
Yeah. Yeah.
One
Yeah.
Fire King.
Fire King representing in the house.
That was not the
All right.
question. The question was if the national tournament and the national peers is the only national tournament. So the Fire Kings, if you rank the teams, Fire Kings will be ranked number 1 in the country. But in terms of the national tournament, which you asked about, that was the answer. So that's a question. That's an answer to another question, not the question that you posed. But Fire Kings is really the top team. I think it's undisputably, but they did not win the national championship. So that just to clear that up.
Okay, I appreciate that. And since you have joined us, you're the last person to join us. Could you please introduce yourself for us?
Okay. I'm Krimar Agard. I really have no position in the association, but I was the vice captain and the paper captain for the WCDF championship that we just had. So
Wonderful, wonderful. And we're still getting to you, Leggy and Lolol and the other young ladies. We haven't forgotten.
oh, you ain't get to them. You should
How
get to
often
them.
is this championship, this world championship held? And where is it going to be next?
It's
And before so, where was it held last? So 3 questions. When last was it held and where? Where is it going to be next?
okay. The last time it was held was 2023 in Guyana. And Antigua was the champion then. Antigua actually went into the tournament being the 3-time champion. So being tied with us, they were, I guess, the 4-time champion, they would say. And the next time it's going to be held will be 2 years from now. It's biannual. two countries put a bid in, Barbados and St. Lucia, to host it. But the more likely destination, which we don't know at this time, is going to be Barbados. But we have to start working now, and people have to start raising funds and getting their skills together and all that. We have to start now because it is an expensive venture. And I guess they would have thanked all the sponsors who came on board before, but we definitely need the sponsors even more to go to Barbados to defend our championship. So we're hoping that from this we have some sponsors coming on board to go to that venture. Because 30 persons, room on board, ticket and all them things and everything. If you want to add them up, we can today, but it really is an expensive venture and we really need the help of everyone. So I think you had what the next question was?
Yeah, that's basically it.
That's
but
basically it.
You
Okay.
touched the point I was going to ask. Roughly how much did it cost you? You may not have the dollars and cents down to the dollars and cents, but roughly how much? 10,000 EC, 5,000 EC?
You want me to take that or you want to do it?
You could go ahead, man.
Okay, just roughly 30 persons going to Antigua. Ticket may have cost maybe $400 US per person.
Which is like 1,000 EC.
1,000 EC for 30, so that's already you get the
30,000 EC.
Right, accommodation maybe another 1,000 for the days, and that is
1,000 per person.
per person approximately, and that is
Approximately 1,000 per person.
it could be even more, but I don't remember
roughly.
the exact. I don't remember
So
the
that's
exact.
another 30,000.
Right, and then we have to eat and other other things, incidentals. If any issues happen, doctor, hospital, anything else. We need toothpaste, we need soap, we need other things. So anything else.
So we're talking
It's a massive.
just for tickets and
It's
accommodation.
a massive
And we
undertaking.
put on whatever figure there.
Yeah.
That gives us a
It's
general
a massive
idea
undertaking.
how
and more than
expensive
that.
that
Yeah, it
would
is
have.
expensive, and that's Antigua. So when we go to Barbados, it's going to be more.
The ticket might probably be about maybe 2,000
Exactly,
easy.
and then the accommodation may be more. It's Barbados, so we really need persons on board, and I guess we would have thanked the sponsors we had before, but they really helped us to go a long way, along with the hard work of those who are here and those who helped out the other members of our
Now
team.
get into the technicality of it, the dominoes. And we're going to start with the ladies. We have enough of the
no
men.
more, man.
Lolo.
Okay, then. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, we have another call here. Good evening. Welcome to On the Ball, live on WINN FM 98.9.
Yeah, good evening. I'm just calling to big up the St. Kitts national domino team. We're doing a wonderful job with at least 22 to 23 rookies. First time into the World Tournament. After 23 years, never been into the World Tournament from 23 years ago. And to come and tell you the three-time champions, I think they deserve a well round of applause. And I think they represent the country to the highest of their ability. And I think next time they will be the overall champion, no tie. So just big up yourself. I think it's national dominant team, and big up to the president and his committee. They did a well job. Job well done. So big up yourself, guys. Feel proud.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
That's
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling, caller. We appreciate that. And you guys look like you got a lot of fans around. No, Lolo, you're not going to get away. Tell us about the structure of the competition, because I watching, and when I think, well, they're coming home tomorrow, I see you guys playing again. I say they're coming home tomorrow again. That's another tomorrow, eh? No, you're still playing, and it seemed like you all played for a whole month. But I'm hearing this competition, and having two-hand, and having King of Domino, and so what are the different categories of the competition you had, Lolo?
He had the two-hand peers competition, a mixed pair, which is a male and a female. He also had a three-hand competition. And miss any?
Female.
Female
peers.
female peers. Yes.
Mixed
And
spear.
You
You
had
had
the
the forehand.
forehand where male and female would have played in it. Not as a mixed spear, but as female and male and male and
You
male.
had the Kings competition too.
They had the kings.
And he had the kings and the queens. And the commander Chihan.
We have the king right here.
And we have the king right here.
Good night, and that would be me.
In the presence of royalty.
Okay, I was watching and sorry. You were continuing?
Go ahead, Lolo. You finish?
With domino, you talk about the structure. We started like 9 o'clock in the morning. And basically time go down to about 10, 11, sometimes 12.
Sometimes 1 o'clock.
At one time we went about 1 o'clock in the morning.
It was at 2 a.m. It was about
1 in
10
the
minutes
morning.
to do
It
it.
was about 2 o'clock.
After 2.
Because we had a series of games, yes. So, and we had to do this every day. So it was all domino. We sleep domino, we eat domino, we play domino, we do everything with domino. Everything domino.
And forgive me, the lady, what's her name again?
Octavia.
Taki.
Aki.
Taki.
Oh, Taki.
Tacky with the T.
How all these long hours, how you made out Taki?
Oh, Lord.
It was hard. It was hard, but it was worth it. It was hard, but it was worth it.
What part of the competitions you competed?
I would say every except male. every segment, every discipline I was taking part in, except the male peers and the kings.
Well,
And you were the
You were
captain,
part.
the captain and vice captain of the female is right there.
She doesn't say so.
Oh, I don't say it.
and she was in the mix also of the forehand competition, which the forehand discipline, which she was all among the top gunners, which was the men. Mostly, majority was men, but she was also one of the female peer, because she would have demonstrated that skill set that, gained her that position of, and Lolo, same way along with Teslin, that is not here, was also a member of the forehand.
Takwana.
Persons, Tikwana, Thomas also. So, yes, she was among the males, because she demonstrated that skill set, which, qualifies her and, would have identified during the training session. And, we were confident that she could have given us the performance that was needed on that platform. So, yes, we had given her that chance, and she executed well in that regards.
She was also a very important part of the captainry. The captainry was Captain Faisal Bori, the vice captain, Captain Lolo, and vice captain Taki, also a consultant to the captainry. So she was very important if the captain and the vice captain are on the table in some very intense games, can't pay attention. She, along with manager Keane, would make the necessary decisions. So she played a vital and critical role in us tying for the championship along with Lolo.
Now we're getting into a little bit the competition itself. You mentioned forehand, but how many countries did you have competing overall?
8 countries.
Do you have a list of them?
Yeah.
Who named them all?
Yeah, name them.
The St. Kitts, of course, the champion.
St. Kitts and Nevis.
You had St. Kitts Nevis, you had Antigua,
And Barbados.
you had Barbados, you had America, of course, the U.S. You had
Lucia.
St. Lucia, you had Dominica, and you had Anguilla, yeah,
And Guyana.
and Guyana.
Guyana.
Sorry, Guyana, Anguilla, Dominica, St. Lucia, St.
USA.
Kitts and
US,
Nevis,
yes.
Antigua and Barbuda. I'm missing two.
USA.
Yes, the USA and Barbados.
Barbados.
The USA and Barbados.
Yes.
Yes.
That's very, very interesting indeed. 8 countries, and St. Kitts and Nevis walked away with the championship, tied with Antigua and
Antigua,
Barbuda,
yes.
who were 4-peating as the champions.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned three-hand. You mentioned, and is it three-hand male and female?
Yes.
Yes.
Three and male and female.
So that's 2 competitions
Yes,
there.
2 different
And then you
disciplines.
had forehand male and forehand female.
Forehand is team. Anybody.
The forehand
forehand
is
is a
the
team.
team, yes.
Yes.
Some peers.
Yeah, but it's dominated by male, but his forehand team was. Yeah,
And it had to be a male and a female per team.
No. You could have had 2 females. You could have a mix
Anybody.
of male and female, but you had a max of total 20 names to submit. in that discipline. So you have to submit 20 names, but of course you could get a mixture of peers from that 20 names, because you could put a male with a female. It could be 2 males, it could be two females.
So in that competition, I could play with Lolol as a mix, and I could still turn around and play with Leggy as 2 males?
So we could
Yes,
we
yes.
could get 2 peers out of you, or 3 peers if possible. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now Leggy, the king.
Yes, sir. Thanks for
Well, I
the
don't have
great
a trumpet here.
acknowledgement.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
That is fine enough to actually introduce the king.
Hail the king.
Long live the king also.
All hail the king.
Oh, yeah.
All hail the king, man. All hail the king.
You are the king. That was a specific competition they had, Leggy?
Yes, that one was what they call King Domino.
And tell us a little about more about it.
Well, it's like something like the 3 hand, where you play on a table with 3 different people. Sometimes you might actually come up against your own country. We actually played in the semi-finals with, and actually did advance. But I had some rough fights along the way where I actually was placed between 2 Antigons. Yeah. Those was,
That's rough.
yeah, very, very rough, where I just had to try to hold my own, keep my calm, and play the good domino that I know that I can play. I actually came out on top. At one point, the score was like, after 2 segments, because you have to play like 3 sets of 6s, I was behind with like 9, both of them had like 10. But in the last set, I actually came out victorious, and where I tell myself, if I could pass this stage, then no one can stop me.
Okay. I heard you mention 6. I heard you mention 3 sets. Here, I know we play 100 chalks, so to speak.
Different.
Is that how they do it? Or
No.
I know we also play stroke game.
Yes, that is it.
So
Stroke.
if I win this hand, I take a
The
stroke,
stroke,
and
yes.
whoever reaches 3
Stroke
wins
of
also.
6.
Yes.
5
Yes.
wins also. How was it?
That's the same.
That's what it is. Where you reach a set of 6 strokes, that's like a game. Like you could consider like 100
Oh, okay,
stroke.
okay.
Where you have to play 3 sets of those. So where I acquired a mass points of like 15 to advance, while some might had 14 and 13. So it was like, first it would be top 2 would actually advance along the way, and the more advancing you would actually, 1 would actually go, while 2 would actually leave out.
Okay, so if you're playing 3-hand versus Taki and Lolol, Lolol gets the first 6. So she has won a game.
Yes, she has won a set.
Taki gets 6.
That's the next set.
That's another set. But
No, you haven't won a set yet. But suppose when Lolol got 6, you had 2 chalks. And then when Taki won, you had 1. Does that mean you have 3?
yes,
Yes,
that
they
means
have
that I have 3.
Yeah.
So after 3 sets of 6s that you'll be playing, the amount of games or points
Out of 18.
or strokes that you actually acquired, we add them up, and whoever got like the most would actually advance, along with who gets second would also advance, and those who got like the least would actually be eliminated.
Also, it's not a, is it a case where somebody had to get 3 sets of 6s to win that hand?
No.
The total
Cumulative.
amount,
It's
Cumulative.
just the
the total amount is
that
18.
you-
It's
A most
acquired.
out of 18.
But the most is 18, because you're playing 3 sets of 6s, so the most you could acquire is 18. So whatever you amass from the first set, the second set, and the third set, they add them up together, and that individual one, whoever have the most, would advance.
Oh, let me see if I understand it. No. So we're playing 3 sets of 6s.
Which is
Yes.
18.
And after those 3 sets of 6s are
Complete.
done,
Yes.
they add up. Okay, Taki,
Cumulative.
you have 12. Lolol, you got 13. And Leggy, you got 15. So you're the winner, Leggy.
Yes, he's
Yes.
the king.
I would be the winner
15 advance.
as long as 15, and the second place would be Lolo. If she has 12, she also advances
Until the semi-final.
until it reach further to like semi-finals or maybe quarter-finals, where the rules would change, where we would actually hear only one would advance, two would be eliminated, and one would advance.
So basically, at some stage, what happened is that you'd have where two persons advance to the next segment, right? While when it gets closer to where there might be another 3 games of 6, 3 set of 6 thereabout, persons, maybe just one person would have moved on from that stage to the semifinals down to the final. So at some point, you could the total score is 18, but if you get 15 or you get 6, one get 15, one get 14, in some cases, 2 persons move on at that point. In the other stage now, it's the person that come out on top from the 3 persons that is sitting on the table. At that point, it's just one person move on. So you have to make sure that when you lose, if you lose and get at least 5. When you lose, and 5 with a 6, 6 and 2, 5, could get you 16 counts out of 18, which could place you comfortable where 2 persons move on. But to top it, it's either 18 or 15, 16 or 17. So you have to get the top score when it goes down.
I have, and that is a lot of domino.
It is.
Was that the case for the peers as well? Or was that just for the
Yeah, it was
king?
strokes. It was strokes all over. Just that in some of the discipline you would lose strokes. So you gain strokes, but you also will lose strokes. So if there's an infringement, you will have to take off some counts. So if you have 5, and for example you play a bad card or something, you made some form of infringement in the game, right? And again, the rules are there, which for example, in the instant where you're going to domino, you're asked in the 3-hand rule to stitch your card, right? So you have to make sure that it make contact. So if you domino the game, you have to make sure that you stitch your card, because that's what the rule requests of you. So if you don't stitch it and you say you domino, you're going to have accounts removed from your total. So you could either gain or lose.
So I understand that now. When you're playing 100 chalks,
Yeah.
you normally, for an infringement,
25
that's
counts.
25 chalks.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's not 25 chalks.
No.
It is a
Stroke.
stroke.
Exactly.
So, Leggy, you're the gentleman at the end. What's your name again, please?
Maths teacher.
Okay, maths teacher. I saw a game where St. Kitts and Nevis playing Antigua and Barbuda. The lady played a card from Antigua and Barbuda, and it appeared to me that her partner put up her hand to say, "Girl, I better box you. What kind of..."
A pleasure, go play.
And some nice colorful words in there played. What became of that situation?
Okay, well, that I don't know if you want to get into that right now on this station, but that I could tell you right now, right? Myself and the manager Keen there, we was in meetings and sessions about that, and trying to get reading and understanding of the rule. But what it is, it's a shortfall. Let me put it that way. It's a shortfall. It's somewhat of a dereliction of duty on the WCDF in terms of that rule. Now, the rule says no one can put their hand above the table until such time to play. No, it didn't. So it was not her time to play. She was actually celebrating because at that point the score was 68-66 in favor of St. Kitts, and every game was worth 3 points, and the score was 5-5, and that was the last game. So you understand how tight that game was. So whoever win that game would have won. That was the last. Everybody else was finished their sets, everything. So it was the excitement that that they won, and we had a big lead on them, and they came back. To their credit, and they came back and they won. But there was an infringement on it. We don't want to get too deep in it. That was an infringement, but there was case tried, appeals lodged, and all that, and the Antiguans came out on top because essentially they ruled. Well, I would keep it non-political and say they ruled that it was an infringement, but it's a warning. So what we would have suggested to them, recommended to them, and that St. Kitts after 23 year hiatus, and we play in St. Kitts and we play rules that are very specific. We are disciplined, so we are accustomed to these things. So we know it was a significant infringement, and we tell them you need to put specificity in your rules. When this happens, what happens to it, and not be able to use
left for interpretation.
Yeah, left is like, but you know, some people do that intentionally. Put rules ambiguously, and I don't want to get into that, right? But it was a part of our heartache, because if we had won that game, we would have been champion. That's how how big that was.
Yes.
We would have beaten them by 2 points, because we would have gained a point, they would have lost a point.
Yes.
So we would have been the champion. That's how much heartache we got from that game.
Yes.
And we could have, you know, even to that on the back end, we could have even still gained the point and beat them, but we lost to them by an aggregate score of 2. So they beat us in the end by an aggregate score of 2. So we could have still come back around and beat them, because we had the same record as them. So we actually lost the championship by that game and a stroke of 2. So that's how close we were to winning the championship outright. So that's why that's a thing of our thing. But we did larger protests and an appeal, but it is what it is, and we want to move on from that, really.
I'm not so clear about the mathematics of it.
I
understand.
Let
3
me
points for a game.
Yeah,
you
so
win a game.
You want to get into that? Okay, let's see. So that was the forehand. So in the end, both St. Kitts and Nevis and Antigua, we tied on 13 points, right? So in the forehand, in every discipline, there's a reward of 3 points for first, 2 points for second, 1 point for third. There are 8 disciplines. So we tied on 13. So in the forehand team discipline, Antigua got 2 points, we got 1 point. Right? If we had won that game, or if we had gotten 3 points more, we would have gotten the 2 points for coming second, they would have gotten the 1 point for coming third. So that means we would have been one above. We would have been one more above, they would have been one less. So we'd end up on 14, they would have ended up on 12. So we would have actually beat them by 2 points. So that is the mathematics of it. So instead of being 13-13, we would have gotten 14, they would have been on 12.
Okay, I understand that.
Right,
now.
so
Okay.
that's how important that one game was. So it really caused us some heartache. And we felt we were the best team there, and we felt we got unjustly ruled on, but it is what it is, and we try to move on, and we still try to come back in the back end, and we still lost the aggregate score by 2 points. So we lost everything close, the championship close. So we really should have been the champions, but I think it's an eye-opener, and everyone here and all who came there, they would know that we can't take nothing for granted, and we will go back and make sure we learn the rules, try to work with the WCDF and get them to make rules that are standard rules. And even to that, there was some saying that we are tied. Why didn't we have a tiebreaker to even break it, even play a set or something? But I guess for some reason they felt that, you know, again, we won't get too much into that, but some reason they felt like they didn't want to have that, because I didn't see St. Kitts and Nevis losing any kind of tie break or nothing at all. We had too much momentum, too much enthusiasm, too much on our side to lose that, and I think that was known, and we just had to leave it as a joint championship. So we accept it, we move on, and we know next time what we need to do is be clear and just work harder, be stronger, be more focused, pay more attention, and ensure that we look at these rules, touch them about it before, and we go forward from there.
It come like the politics in the domino.
Politics in the domino.
Politics
that's what we do it. We want to get into it because, you know, imagine we haven't come there for 23 years and we come out on top champions.
We will lead in the competition from day 2 all the way to the end of the competition. So they just couldn't get us out the front. And even in the forehand discipline, we were actually tied with Antigua, but then in the rule there's a rule that has a tiebreaker just for the forehand game, so they use that for the forehand, and of course, you know, they would have gotten more strokes than us in the overall points.
Just by two. Just by two
counts. And they think so. We tied in the forehand discipline with them, which would have been 2 points. They would have tied in the female three-hand also, and they use a breaker and put Antigua in front.
But I mean, not they use.
It was there in the rule.
Not that they use a
breaker.
The rule for that was clear. And as we were telling them, why do you have rules clear for certain things, but other things the rule is not clear? That is what, even in St. Kitts, we don't do that. When we have tournaments and we orchestrate it, our rules are clear.
Well, to be specific, they had a rule there which it was in 2 instances which you were one, and that's for signing and speaking, right?
Okay,
so again, in that it says no expressive movements, and of course, what she did came under expressive movements. But of course,
we can.
The persons that was actually trying those cases, they were of course Antiguan for the most part, and the politics was really in depth in that way. So but we came out victorious at the end of the day. Nevertheless, they just could not keep St. Kitts down no matter what they try.
You're listening to On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9, and we have with us live and lively and direct in the studios members of the St. Kitts and Nevis Domino Association. Forgive me, let me take back that. Members of the victorious St. Kitts and Nevis Domino Association. We have Pink Boss, the manager. We have Leggy, the king of dominoes. We have the Mr. Mats. We have Taki, and we have Lolo, the captain. Lolo? The captain and... Oh, Lolo. The captain and the vice captain of the female teams. And boy, I suppose you see them beaming from ear to ear with boy name, with pride. If I turn off all the lights in that studio, it'll be floodlights over there still. And of course, you can call 466-0989-662-0989-762-0989. Or if you're in the UK, you can call 033-3444. Forgive me, 033-344-0065. I repeat, 033-344-0065. In the USA, 718-285-6984. And in Canada, 305-921-4619. And if you're shy, you don't want to call, you can WhatsApp me 668-2055. And you're saying, Mr. Mats, you walked away. You got St. Kitts and Nevis got 13 points, Antigua got 13 points.
Yes. And so as I said, that was just heartache. After that, some of us didn't even want to play anymore, but we had to be resilient, and we were resilient, and we came back, and we battled and stayed on top until the end. But it is what it is. It's a last opportunity, but we definitely are proud of our performance after 23-year hiatus. That's more than 2 decades. I was there the last time in 2002 when we went there, and we did not do that well. So having all these freshmen here now, I don't even hear what you say, but all these freshmen who came, and we really want to big them up and thank them. We work very hard. We practice over 2 months. Sometimes we had domino game 3 days a week, then we had practice another 3 days a week. It was a sacrifice for us, our families, and we just want to thank our families for being there for us. And even this time here, even we went, it was hard times, and we come back home now, we got to spend some time with the families and everything. But it really was a tough journey. We work hard, and hard work does pay off, and we saw that happening here. And,
Taki, this is your first time representing St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yes, sir.
How was it for you? Well, let's start with when you got the announcement. Taki, you are a member of the team that is traveling to Antigua for this competition. How did that make you feel?
It was an honor. It was exciting. I was excited. I was really excited to be there, honestly.
Now you're there in the competition and your name comes up for your first game. How were you feeling? Frightened, confident?
Somewhat nervous, but after I reach out on the floor, that was it. The nervousness gone. Just like coming here tonight.
You were nervous coming
yes.
in? Well, yes. Looking at you, you look confident. I mean, I even thinking that maybe I should encourage you to come and help me host one of these nights.
Oh, no. No. No.
And you, same question to you, Lolo. You're practicing. You're wondering, why I wonder if you're going to make the team. Did you feel within yourself, yes, I got this, I am going to make the team?
This is not my first time going away to represent St. Kitts. We went in, what year by?
90-something.
When we went to represent St. Kitts in Grenada,
Yeah.
we tied first with Barbados, with the females, Chian. This is my, third time representing St. Kitts. So I wasn't shy.
You ever, I know you to be one of the deadliest shooters we have here in netball. Did you ever represent St. Kitts and Nevis in net?
I was a defender.
Sorry, defender? Oh no, there's another lady from St. Paul's.
Defender. Manda. No,
Okay.
Manda was a defender too.
You felt, after representing twice already, you felt it was a walk in the park and you would get there easily this year.
Yes.
And did you have any butterflies? Be honest with us.
No. Because some of these people I met is people who I actually challenged before. So it was.
And about how many females you had on the team, Taki?
9.
9 females and 21 males.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We had anybody from Nevis?
No.
So any plans to incorporate that?
Yes.
How are you going to go about it?
Well-
Are you going to have a set of players from
Well,
St. Kitts
with that-
playing
with that-
against Nevis next
With that, we
competition?
would have, yeah.
Or do they have to be part of, I don't know, the national competition?
No, let me.
How are you looking to
Let
incorporate?
let me just refer to that. On more than one occasion, we extended, because it's a national representation, we extended the invitation. What happened in Nevis, they don't have an association like we do here. So it's a little bit more difficult. So you have to try to get the contact person and talk to other, even the political representatives over there, and try to get them to get a team together. We extended that opportunity to them on more than one occasion, because we really wanted, I mean, you know, we have people with Nevis roots in the team, but we really wanted to have Nevis representation, but that did not come to fruition. And we would even extend it even now again to them, because we really would want to see what Nevis has, and we really want it to be as full. But at some point, I think they'll come on board, but we did extend to them on more than one occasion. But I think if they get an association, I think that would help with the structure and organizing and getting people together. Because they do have tournaments over there sponsored by some of their politicians and so forth, but to have a organized domino partnership thing over there, they don't have that. So that is what the problem was, I think.
Leggy, how many games you played up to and including the final? I know there's the quarterfinal, the semi-final, the final, but did you have to go to 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds of eliminations before you got to the semi-finals?
Well, actually, it was more of an advancing situation, where you have 3 players on top of the table, and from the get-go you had 2 advancing. The top 2 advanced, 1 would be eliminated. I think roughly I had maybe like 8 challenges along the way before I got to the finals. In the finals I played against Anguilla and a representative from Antigua, who was, at the time, he was the defending champion. He was King Domino champion.
Hold that thought for me. There's another call coming in. Good evening, caller. Welcome to On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9. You're live. Hello. Sorry, we lost that call.
That's it.
Continue, Leggy.
Yes, so in the finals, I actually met Anguilla and Antigua, who was the reigning King Domino champion at the time, which I didn't even know until at the end of that match, where he told me, "Do you know that I was the reigning champion?" And I said, "What?" He did very, very well to reach that far, to advance into the finals as he was the reigning champion. There was a bit of nerve at the first start. In the semi-final, I had one of my teammates with me, and
who was that?
His name is, we call him Naddy. I'm not too sure.
From
Sandy
Point.
Point. Yeah.
He's from Sandy Point Victory.
Shouldn't I?
That means you cheat him then.
No. What happened is that we had such of an advantage, I should say. We played against one individual who was from St. Lucia. But my gosh, that dude made me sweat. We had to actually fight and compose and play as team, use our strategy, try to play for each other so at least one of us could actually advance. So along the way, I did advance. I thanked my teammates. I thanked even Nadi at the time when he was on the board. I said, well, one of us did advance and we have to go all the way. So also, my teammates here who are with me here tonight, and those who may be listening on ear and home, those also gave me the support and the courage and the braveness to keep pushing forward. Especially my manager right next to me here, who actually at some point I had to use the bathroom and he had to follow me to make sure that I'm still there.
I hope he didn't help you.
So he came and he said, Al, come on, get this together. We need this. You're actually now going into the finals. Stick with it. Even before that, he actually had some nerves because the St. Lucia guy was actually putting us underneath some pressure. Mm-hmm. So he came to me and said, you and your teammate, you all got to work together. It's 2 against 1, you all kind of foot. I said, boy, Pink Bass, the man jamming domino, the man finding domino, throwing, swinging. Nadi's doing his best, I'm doing my best. But he said, Al, you all got to come out with this. We came here for something and we have to achieve it. So I kept my calm after he and also my captain, the male captain, which would be Fai Centenega. They came and tried to calm me down and keep me composed.
All of us in the back room.
Yeah, yes, all of us. So they came and they actually gave me the support and they tried to encourage me to just go. And so I actually went back in, cleansed my hands, sat down and relaxed. And I did advance with a math of getting 2 6s while he actually only had gotten 1. Yes, 14. I amassed a point of maybe 14 and he had 14. But I got 2 6s, which he only got 1. So I advanced and made it into the finals. So I actually tell myself, well, Al, this is it now. I only have my teammates to thank, and now I have other countries to fight. So my teammates then gave me the boost to go forward, so I actually used that and move forward where I actually played against those 2 guys, Antigua and Anguilla. And just by my name and my boastingness, and I know what I can do, I took off one time. I actually said I'm going to sit at that angle where I'm going to push the Antigua guy first, because I picture that one to be very stronger than the Anguilla one. So in the first round, I came out with 6 points. I think the other one came out maybe like 3 or 2. Then the Antiguan guy, he shifted around.
When you say shift around, what do you mean?
After the first set, anyone can move except the one who actually achieved the first 6. So I achieved the first 6, so I couldn't have moved. So the Antigua guy, he and the Anguilla person shift seats. So he think it's best that he should apply some pressure to the youngster as being the reigning champ. He did. Then the score came up a lot bit more tighter. The Anguillan also actually amassed some points. I didn't get the 6 in the second one, but I was still leading maybe by 2. Then I said, no. I'm going to take my shift back now. Go back into my seat.
Say a shift again on him?
Yes. So I took a shift and I decided I'm going back to push him. And he was like, boy, leggy boy, I can't get a break for you. I can't get a pose. And the cards would just play with me. And in that 3-hand segment, that King Domino tournament, you could talk, you could slam, you could be free. And that's what I like. So I use that to my advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your thing.
And within the third segment to amass the 6 games, I was leading, and I don't see my way with this. I said, like, okay. And my team telling me, just grab another one. Just grab another one, which I did, and then I was like up like 3. And then I just tell myself, you know what? I'm going to go all the way. So I actually went all the way, and I actually played a shot I was so very, very proud of. I could have gone blanks and passed the whole board. But I say I'm going to try 5s because of the type of cards that's being played in the board. They are smaller. So I said if I go blanks, I have to break off and give them the 4. They're going to come back in with some big cards. So I went 5. And luckily, I didn't get the shot. But the Anguillan guy, he played a card that was so hard that the Antigua guy passed, I passed, and the Anguilla man passed. So when then the game shot, and I just be like, okay. The game looking very interesting because of the small cards in the board and the game shot. So when I look, I see the Anguilla guy, he turned over like 16 counts in his hand. Then the Antigua man watching me and I watching him. So he ain't turning his, I'm not turning mine.
Yeah,
So no, it's not about, I'm just intimidating him. And so we're like staring at each other and I'm like, is it your turn, turn your card? And he watching me like, turn mine. So when I look, I see him turn like 6-5 and the 4. I say, hey, where you going with that? So I actually know, I jump out my seat and I turn over double 4 and 4 blank. So I actually won that last set with just 12, with 12 counts in my hand. And then that was it. So I just started to dance all the way because the king has arrived.
Well, 2 more questions, the final 2 questions. How many cards do you play with? 6 or 7 throughout the competition?
7.
In that segment, everyone have to play with 7 dominoes, where double 6 pose at all times.
Even if you win double 6 pose?
Yes, even if you win, double 6 must pose. If you don't have double 6, then you would actually descend double 5, double 4.
Sorry, let me ask you a question. So you won the first chalk, the first mark.
Yes.
And we shuffle. Double 6 have
Double
pose
6
again?
always
And not
poses. Not the one who win the last game.
At the end of each game, not only after 6, at the end of each
Double
game,
6
double
must
6
pose.
must
Double
pose.
6.
And it goes down to double 5, it goes down to double 4. Then if there's no double, then it goes down to the biggest card, which is 6-5.
So
Okay, now guys, the final question. Codes or signs? I don't like that, period. I don't like that. And from what I gathered in previous years, a lot of people play with signs. They scratch the right ear, they scratch the right left ear, they head, they lean on the left side, they put this card closer to that side. Were you allowed to use signs or special codes, whatever you all want to call it? And if you were found guilty of that, what would have been the penalty?
It's an infringement. There's a rule that says no signing or no talking. So in the first instant, you shall be warned, right? But what happened, the referees had applied some discretion in some instant because you'd have had some excessive movements from some persons, which could be considered to be coding in that extent. So if the referee realized that movements is coming from both parties, there's a 10-second time in which you're allowed to play a card. So in some interim, the referee would now cut down to 5 seconds rather than 10 seconds to minimize the movements or coding in that regards.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have to wrap up. Could we have some final words from you folks before I give the overall wrap-up? Again, anybody wanting to join, any contact numbers you want to share, big up your sponsors?
Yes, in that regards, I would like to extend a big thank you to the Prime Minister's office for their contribution. Minister Samuel Duggins also from Sports, Triple C Credit Union, the Police Credit Union, Carberry 869 Auto Spa, OD Brisbane, Mr. Winston at Mystic Photo, also Model Cop. I want to say a big thank you for all the support that was given from these persons. And, going forward in 2027 at the other role tournament, you know, we look forward to other sponsors coming on board because it's a very expensive trip. Of course, would have showed St. Kitts and Nevis and also our sponsors that, you know, we're able to represent them and, you know, bring home the championship of such, which we would have done the last couple of days in Antigua. So I'm just appealing to other persons to come on board, give support, and, you know, we're looking forward to join hands with them for the next World Tournament.
Any final words, Lal, Taki?
Well, I also would like to say thank you to all those who sponsored me as well. Thank you.
And I would just like to say, just to reiterate what the manager said, we need more sponsors because we're now on the spotlight because we won. And there are other tournaments other than the World Tournament which we are getting invited to and that kind of thing. So we need even sponsors for them. And again, those who sponsored us individually, we need even sponsors for them. So, so it's just to, we just need the sponsorship, more people coming on board. Those who came on board were well, they did a good job, but we need more for us to even go to Barbados and other things. So, thank them all, and we're just hoping for more to come on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for making yourselves available to be part of us here on the ball on WINN FM 98.9. On behalf of the, Leggy the King. How could I not let the King reign?
Thank you very much for the great acknowledgement. And as you always should remember, long live the King. So, well, I would mostly like to thank everybody who came here and even the radio station for having us here. It was a very, very proud moment to actually be playing in such great extinct tournament, world tournament, where we actually placed champion over so many years. I think it have not been participating. So I'd also like to thank all the sponsors, and my teammates, and my managers, captains, even thank my family, friends, even some nice supporters and good friends that I got abroad, Barbados, Antigua, Dominica, all those who actually at some point, they was like, you beat Leggy. And then afterwards, let's go, Leggy, let's go. So I actually want to thank all of them, especially my good friend in Barbados, my good friend in Antigua, and a couple more in Anguilla and Dominica. And least but not last, but let's always remember God in everything.
Amen.
Thank you, Leggy. Forgive me, guys. There's a question I didn't ask. I think Faisant won something, Bongo won something. Who are the winners from St. Kitts who won various elements? St. Kitts and Nevis.
Okay, quickly, Faisant and Bongo, they won the peers competition.
Male peer competition.
The male peer competition. And Faisant and Teslin Mills, they came third in the mixed peers competition, which is a male and a female. So Faisant was the common denominator in both of those competitions.
Yes, and also he was crowned MVP for the
our
whole
team.
Tournament and also for our team.
Yeah.
MVP, that's Faisant.
Yes.
Faisant Bowl,
Yes.
So, in a sense, you won the King, the peers, and third in the
mixed peers.
That's where your 13 points came from.
No, all a second there. The overall championship we got, which was tied with Antigua. The MVP, which Faisant got, we have first place in the overall men's trian discipline. We have first place in the male peers, which was Faisant and his father Bongo. We won the King competition. We were second place in the female trian discipline, and we were third place in the mixed peer competition, and we were third place in the forehand discipline.
Well, congratulations to you, Pink Boss, and all the winners you've had, and congratulations to your team for making St. Kitts and Nevis proud. And on behalf of the management and staff, board of directors of WINN FM 98.9, and of course the On the Ball show, the sports department, we really congratulate you and wish you all the best in your endeavors as you go forward. And we do hope the sponsors come on board and support you, because we chalked up, we reached about $60,000, and that's only Antigua, and it didn't include some of the major costs, the meals, which is a big factor. So congratulations all again, and quickly before we go, if anybody want to contact the St. Kitts and Nevis Domino Association, what number could they call, please?
869-766-1904.
The email.
Repeat that again, please.
766-1904, or the email address which I mentioned earlier, skndominoes@gmail.com.
Okay, we appreciate that. Thanks a lot, gentlemen and the ladies. And it is said behind every successful woman there is, because every successful man, or in front of every successful man, there is a woman. I could see Lolo and Taki. And it has been a tremendous pleasure having you here, folks. And we hope to work with you and have you in future where you discuss with us. To the callers, we say thanks a lot again for being with us. And we ask you to join us again next week, Tuesday, for another edition. But we must remind you of the table tennis camp tomorrow at 9 o'clock at the St. Paul's Community Center. The bus leaves the Central Service Station at Bastia, the junction of Keon and Victoria Road, to take your children down to St. Paul's. If you want to bring them, of course, it's fine. We'll have some snacks for you. It's table tennis action. And on Friday, we will be in Nevis at the Cotton Ground Community Center. So thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. Thank you to the callers. Thank you for being here with us. Do you want to know what's happening in sport? Tune into On the Ball, a weekly tour show which is on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Bif Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and, of course, your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On the Ball with Troy Bif Mills on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball.